Well, welcome back to Access Carolina. There are haunted attractions and spooky events all over the place meant to give us the chills this Halloween, but it's the real stories, the local legends across the upstate that are the most frightening of all. Certified paranormal investigator Gabe Matthews is here from Greenville Ghost Tours to take us along. Welcome, great to see you.
Thanks for having me again. I love coming here and love the studio.
You're full of fascinating stories because you're out there conducting investigations with paranormal equipment. You know, you brought some things around, but just kind of talk to us about how you got started and why.
Yeah, so I'm a certified paranormal investigator, but I didn't start as that. You know, when I was a child, I loved haunted things. I always said it came out of the womb, loving ghosts and everything. I used to watch Casper the Friendly Ghost. My dad has these VHS tapes of Casper cartoons. I loved Casper, got into the real Ghostbusters, all the haunted things. I used to go to the Haunted Mansion in Disney World, and I just wanted to ride that ride over and over and over again. He had to drag me to the rest of the park, but I just loved it so much. But I came to Greenville. I met a local paranormal investigator. He kind of showed me the ropes. He moved away. I lost track of him, and I started my own team here. And then shortly after that, I started Greenville Ghost Tours, and now I give downtown walking tours.
Well, it's awesome that you followed your passion, and then you're in a place where there are so many sites to explore. You say, you know, with the upstate being home to many paranormal presences and haunted sites, the first one to talk about, the former Otteray Hotel. This is a leading hotel for the social elite back in 1909, but an unsettling history there, right?
Yes. So the Otteray Hotel, which is in the current day Hyatt Regency Hotel. So that's the location. But yeah, 1909 was when that hotel opened. And during that time, there was a Confederate monument, and that's the one that's in front of the Springwood Cemetery right now. So what you're seeing on your screen is that Confederate monument used to be in front of the Otteray Hotel. And that has James Ligon on top, but they moved it to the Springwood Cemetery now. But yeah, the Otteray Hotel, built in 1909, that was the first luxury hotel in Greenville, and it was home to a lot of paranormal evidence. So back in when it first opened, there's reports of a young child that was dressed in antebellum clothing that could be seen walking towards the elevator and then would actually disappear in front of your eyes. So like a child dressed in clothing not of the era would be seen crying for help and then would vanish in front of your eyes, right in front of the elevator, right? So then after that, in the year 1924, and this is interesting because the competitor down the street, the Poinsett Hotel, was opening then. That year, the same year its competitor was opening down the street, there was a fire in the top levels of the Otteray Hotel. But unfortunately, all the guests got out alive, but they traced back the source of this fire, and it had to do with electrical malfunctions in
the location with the girl.
The elevator. In the elevator. Yeah, exactly. The same location of the little. So anyways, after this haunted, this fire, it underwent new ownership, or J.L. Alexander, he died, and then there was a new guest that came, Bobby Goodyear, and he was crushed in the elevator.
So this elevator, spooky history there, and it's something that, you know, you research, you learn about, you tell that story today, and it's worth investigating. One of the spooky spots, but you've also opened up, we've got to jump in because there's so many to tell. In Spartanburg,
but don't go in that elevator, that's all I'm saying.
Don't go in that elevator, for sure.
Even today, the Hyatt Regency elevator is haunted, for sure.
Okay, that is the finale of the story right there.
It's a haunted elevator there at the Hyatt Regency. I use the stairs when I go, for sure.
Really? And you've used your equipment there?
I haven't. I mean, I need to go. I need to go. But awesome. I wouldn't take that elevator.
Okay, very good. Don't take the elevator. Spooky stuff has happened there for years, documented, and now, you know, up in Spartanburg, you've expanded your tours up there too. And in that tour of Spooky Spartanburg, you've got to learn the legend of Booger Jim.
Yes, so Spooky Spartanburg, really excited about that. But so what I found is there's a multiple Booger Jim stories. So there's so many different stories of Booger Jim. There's actually Booger Jim's Hollow, and they tell a story about a man who had a family, and he got into a argument with his wife, killed his wife, and then the child was screaming, so they killed the child, and then he went and hung himself over a bridge. But now we're showing trains because actually in Spartanburg itself, there's stories of an old man, the town drunk, who lived under Highway 29, I believe, and he worked for the railroad, and he lost his head in a railroad accident, and he's said to haunt the railroad tracks in Spartanburg. Many parents tell the children, don't go out and play at the railroad tracks because Booger Jim's going to get you, and also if you see in this video, you got the train going, but there's the Hub City Railroad Museum there. I've been wanting to go, but they're only open a couple hours a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but one of these days I'm going to get out to that.
Check that out. But there's reason that legend keeps being passed down. There are enough compelling stories back there. They say don't play it near those railroads. We don't know what will happen. Next, there is a tunnel of interest. It was built to connect the railway between Charleston and Knoxville. The site of a very spooky story. Stump House Tunnel in Walhalla is one of your favorites. Yeah, so the 1850s, there was a bunch of Irish workers who were building this tunnel to connect, and they used dynamite, shovels, pickaxes to kind of make this tunnel. But then as the Civil War was about to happen, also they ran out of money was really what it was. They stopped building it. But one of the workers died while building this tunnel, and it said today that you can still hear their screams, hear the pickaxes when you go there. I went there with my team. It's very haunted site, and they used to make a blue cheese inside that. I was going to say that temperature makes it even more spooky. So we've got sites, and you could take us to 5 more places just off the top of your head. But you brought a few things to studio that we're interested in, because sometimes you'll have a haunted artifact. What do you call these? I brought some haunted stuff, and for those who've seen me before, I did bring back Rosie. Oh, good. So glad Rosie's doll. Back. But then I also brought, so this is actually Snallygaster shell. So we investigate cryptids at True Searchers as well, and the Snallygaster is from German and American folklore, but it's a reptile bird chimera. But this is actually from one in Maryland. So this is actually Snallygaster shell. Yeah, the shell of the egg. And I got this at the Weirdo Market. So shout out to the Weirdo Market. Now they didn't give me a certificate of authenticity of this, so I don't know if it's exactly what it is, but it is cool to have this. But I also have, this is actually a haunted football. So a haunted object. Now this actually, I've been trying to collect haunted sports memorabilia. And is it cursed like the team loses? What's haunted sports? Well, so it's signed by O.J. Simpson, and I actually was trying to get a Shoeless Joe Jackson signed baseball because of the tie to Greenville, and I was talking to this guy, and he said I have an O.J. Simpson signed football. So I got this, and this happens to be one of the more haunted objects that I have in my possession. I got these energy crystals too to do this, and everyone probably knows O.J. Simpson and all his accolades. A Heisman Trophy winner, but you can just see how much energy is coming off of this football. What an incredible acquisition! Yeah. So I've been trying to collect more haunted objects, weird objects, sports memorabilia. Yeah, and it's possible to see just how much energy there is here. He could be haunting this football. The Jews. I'm not sure which is more frightening. Probably this one right here. I'm not going to bother Rosie. She won't leave any bad curses around here. Rosie doesn't have as much. It's only going to orange. Box her up safely. This one's on the red. Okay. Let's see the Snallygaster. Snallygaster actually is kind of haunted, I would say. You bring the science, you bring the tools, and you're always looking for new sites to explore, I'm sure. So we'll keep following you as you add tours, as you add locations and stories. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it, Gabe. Yeah, thanks for coming. And everybody wants to check out Greenville Ghost Tours online. You can see this full list of tours, all the places they're going now, and you can book your ticket that way.